All right. I would just like to say hello and good evening to everybody that is joining us this evening. My name is Thomas Gangle. I am one of the assistant principals here at Bellevue High School. I'd like to welcome all of our future freshman students on this call, as well as your families that are with you tonight. We have a good presentation for you. We're hoping to really highlight some of the great things that Bellevue High has to offer and give you a lot of things to look forward to in the fall. We have a number of staff members that will be here speaking to that. I'll be running the PowerPoints and introducing them as they come along. You're going to get a chance to meet the administrative team this evening. We're going to have our lead counselor, Miss Smith, give you a lot of information on various supports and academic information. Miss McKnight will be sharing Link Crew with you. Link Crew is an excellent thing that a lot of kids look forward to coming into the start of their freshman year. We have Miss Day to speak to student leadership. Ms. Hurley will be speaking about various clubs and activities you can get involved with. We'll have Mr. George speaking to you about our music program. And Mr. Hill will be speaking to you about the wonderful athletic program that we have here at Bellevue High School. With that said, I'd like to turn it over to the better 2/3 of the admin team, as I like to refer to them here at Bellevue High. Mr. Vic Anderson's our principal. I believe he's on this call.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks, Thomas. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to our little podcast here. I'm Vic Anderson, and I get the lucky privilege of being principal of Bellevue High School. I'm finishing up my 4th year and my 29th year in education, and I love being here. And I just want to talk to you a little bit tonight. We're going to go over some things, and we just want to let you know that, you know, although we're in some uncertain times and we get new information regularly, and there's still some things up in the air about exactly what our program and what school is going to look like in the fall. But here's what we do know. We're going to be here in the fall, and we're excited to welcome you to become part of our community, and that's what we're here to talk to you about tonight. So just a little bit about myself. As I mentioned, I've been in education for 29 years. I've been 9 years in the Bellevue School District and 4 years at Bellevue High School. You know, one of the things that we want to do here is we want to make Bellevue High School feel small. And what I mean by that is we want to know your children, we want to get to know you, and we want to remain student focused as we go about our work and providing you opportunities to learn and thrive and become the creators of your future world. You know, one of the things that I love about Bellevue High School is that there's just so many different opportunities. We're known for high quality academics, athletics and activities, the arts, you name it. There's something for everybody here at Bellevue High School. And what makes us special really is you. It's our community. The students who come, the families and community that supports us, and our amazing staff. We have a lot of amazing teachers and support staff. And again, you're going to hear from several of them tonight. And my hope for every student is that they connect with one or more adults, and they have somebody that they can talk to, that they can trust, and that they can come to if they have a need. So that's our commitment here. We work on being equitable, racially conscious, and student-centered in everything we do. We're all learning and growing together as a learning community. It's not just about the kids learning. It's about us as adults leading the way and continuing to learn and reflect as we go. So I'll probably have a few more things to share with you a little later on, but I'm going to turn it over back to Mr. Gangle, and give you a chance to meet our other assistant principal, Ms. Klug. Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks, Vic. And I really can't echo enough what Vic said. I've been in the district myself since 2007. I've worked at, this is now my third high school, fourth if you count a brief moment I had at International. And Bellevue High really is the place. You can find your place here. You can, we can be a little of something for everyone. And so again, please do pay attention to what you hear from our staff members, because it's just the well-rounded education that you can get in this school is second to none. And if you involve yourself and in work to get to know us, we will open our arms and we will be here for you, and we will do whatever we've got to make sure that you have a great experience. To speak even further to that, we do have Ms. Klug, the other assistant principal, here on this call as well.
Thanks, Thomas. I'm thrilled to be here tonight and to welcome all of you. We are so excited to have you join us in the fall as incoming ninth graders. This is my 15th year in the Bellevue School District, which is hard to believe. I've had 10 years as an administrator at both the middle school and high school level. But as a high school teacher, high school was my first love, and I am thrilled to be at Bellevue High School. I was here about 4 years ago, took some time at a middle school, and am back. And one of the things that I just value about Bellevue High so much is the warm and inclusive community. We really do have an amazing community of staff members, of students, and of families, and it's just a joy to work here every day. I would agree wholeheartedly with everything that Vic and Thomas said, and we just really are excited to welcome you all and here to support you. And if there's anything that we can do to help make the transition work for you and make it a little bit easier, just do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much. Back to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Katie. And with that, I would like to just hand it over to our amazing lead counselor. Actually, sorry, I jumped the gun on that one. I'm going to lead it back over to Dr. Anderson to kind of cover the district vision and school mission.
Thanks there, Thomas. So we ascribe to the student or the district vision here to affirm and inspire each and every student to learn and thrive as creators of their future world. And, you know, you hear a lot of vision statements and they sound the same. But one thing that I really appreciate about our district and our vision is in this statement is the word to affirm. We see you, we look for you, and we see you every day at school. My hope, as I mentioned before, is that students find an adult that they can trust and someone that they can talk to. There are a lot of things that we have in place to communicate. I send out weekly emails. I have monthly principal coffees that you're familiar with because I know Principal White does the same thing there at Chinook. And we also have an amazing PTSA that sends out a weekly newsletter that I'll encourage all of you to subscribe to. They recently won an award from the state PTSA affiliate for the Bellevue Blast, which is their newsletter that just has a wealth of information that's sent out every week. And that includes information about the school and the district, and also community activities that are relevant for kids and families. At Bellevue High School, we talk about the Wolverine Way. You'll be coming up Wolverine Way a lot in the next few years. It's worth the climb. Our mission as Bellevue High School is that we are a community dedicated to learning. Students, teachers, parents, staff, family, alumni, and neighbors. Together we strive for excellence in all we do. So it's a team effort. I'm one person. I can't do it by myself. I depend on the staff, I depend on you, and I depend on parents. We work together to continue to grow and improve in the way that we provide education and service to your students. So we'll be working together, we'll be seeking your input, and together we'll continue to make Bellevue High School a great place for every student.
Thank you, Vic. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand it over to the amazing super counselor, Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Thomas. Hello, everybody. I'm Miss Smith, Mary Beth Smith, and I'm so happy to have all of you join us this evening. I know this has been a really tough end of the year, and we want to make sure that you guys feel special and excited to join us no matter what type of schooling we offer in the fall. We guarantee, we promise you that we'll be there for you and we'll support you and we'll help you to learn and grow both academically and socially and emotionally. So I want to go over a few slides just to tell you a little bit about the type of counseling department that we have. We're divided up by alphabet, and my alphabet is EH through KEL. And a little bit about myself, I'm finishing my 6th year here at Bellevue High, and my, I think, 24th year in the district. And I was a teacher before that. So I just absolutely love working with high school students. I always tell kids that I would come to work even if I won the lottery and didn't need to work for money. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. I really, really love being able to be a guide and a support person to help students grow from 9th graders through 12th graders and on to the next chapter of their life. We are blessed at our school to have an amazingly strong and bright and creative counseling department. We have Miss Quintana. She is the beginning of the alphabet, A through EG. And Miss Robinson is new this year. She's from the East Coast and she's fantastic. She's KEM through NE. And Miss Manesh Berger is the one in the center there, the shortest counselor. She's NG through SR. And Miss Clipper is ST through Z. We are also blessed to have 2 amazing counseling assistants, secretaries that really, really are helpful and warm, and they love to help kids as well. And we have a wonderful college and career specialist who works out of our library, and she helps students with all sorts of activities. Next slide. And in terms of what makes Bellevue High special, I think the principals already kind of mentioned that we have all sorts of academic options. There really is a class, an elective, a core class for every single student's interest. And if we don't have a class that you're interested in, ask your counselor. You know, we can always take up proposals for other classes to offer. We have a very diverse student body with students coming from, some of you will be coming up through the Bellevue School District, and many of you tonight are joining us from private schools, from other states, from all sorts of other different types of backgrounds, and we welcome you all. And we have great academic programs, great personal supports. I'll talk a little bit about the counseling supports we have in a minute, and then fantastic elective music, theater, all of those, sports and all that. So next, okay. And then most of you have probably already seen our graduation requirements online or in a former presentation, so I won't read this to you. But ultimately, the counselors, our job is to ensure that you're able to, in a 4-year period, successfully graduate from Bellevue High School and earn the 24 credits that you need in each of these categories. So every year we'll be meeting with you to talk to you about which class offerings are going to be offered for you at the next grade level, which classes are working for you, which adjustments we might want to make. And we will make sure that you meet all of these requirements in order to graduate and go on to the next chapter of your life. And then a minimum of a 2.0 GPA, so that's an average of a C. And we want to make sure that everybody can get much higher than a C, but there's a minimum there. 24 credits, as I mentioned, community service. The district does require 40 hours of community service, and most kids kind of spend the first 10 hours or so just trying to find what they might be interested in terms of, do they want to work with animals? Do they want to work with children? The medical field, the environment. And then most of them will kind of pick an area. You don't have to do it that way, but many kids do. And we do have a special award that we give out every year. The PTA gives out. It's called the Wolverine Guard. Hopefully many of you will strive to earn that. That's if you complete 100 hours of community service during a 1-year period, then you're able to earn this prestigious award, which is wonderful. And then there's state exams that you'll take. And here's my favorite slide. So student supports. So as I mentioned, I'm super proud of our counseling team. They're just dynamic, and they'll all be really wonderful and compassionate and there for you guys. Ms. Hanson, I mentioned, is our college and career specialist. She goes into classes and does presentations. She also meets one-on-one, and she does brings in college speakers and all sorts of things to help you plan for college, but then also a career after that. We do have YES, and that stands for Youth Eastside Services Counselors, and we usually have 2 of those on staff every year to be able to provide mental health counseling during the school day for some students. We also have Mr. Richardson, who's a lot of fun. He helps guide students and support them if they need a little extra help or encouragement or mentoring or tutoring. He's there for kids. Tutorial, so every day after school except Wednesdays, you'll have a chance to meet with your teachers. Even if we're in the remote learning, the teachers still provide that. And then we often have the extended tutorial in the library after tutorial for students that need just an extra place to finish their work or need a tutor to help them. Academic coaches are really cool. So Ms. Hurley might mention this when she speaks in a moment. These are students that are kind of specialists in a certain area. They might be really strong in math or science or English, and these are usually older students who have earned really good grades in those areas, and they apply and are interviewed to be a coach in the classroom. So they're not just a TA, they're a student that's in the classroom to actually help students learn. They might help an individual student, say in Japanese, or they might work with a small group of kids. They might help the teacher present a lesson. It's fantastic. Naviance, you will learn a lot more about that. It's a wonderful program where we help you guys plan for college, apply to college, find scholarships, create a resume, create a 4-year plan. It's a program that the Bellevue Schools Foundation funds for us, and it's just a wonderful resource. And we do have a lot of support classes too. So we have support in the area of math, literacy, academics, studies, and things like that. So that we also have the AVID program, which is not a support program, but it's also another wonderful way for students to kind of get that extra boost and plan for their life after high school. So that's kind of it for my section. Oh, there's an echo. So I will turn it over to Natalie McKnight, and thank you so much.
Okay, what's good, everybody? I'm Natalie McKnight. I am excited to be here. If you don't know what Link Crew is, well, actually just a little bit about myself. This is my 4th year at Bellevue High School, 5th year in the Bellevue School District, and 6th year teaching. For those of you who have kids taking Spanish or will take Spanish, might have me. I teach Spanish typically, 2 or 3 here at Bellevue. Love it. It's really fun, especially to watch the lower levels kind of be very surprised when their Spanish teacher speaks Spanish with them. So yeah, looking forward to seeing your new faces this year or this coming fall, whether it's through a computer or in person. So if you know what Web Crew or Web is, Web and Link are essentially the same thing. If you remember entering 6th grade at Chinook Middle School, and you had those cool 8th graders helping you out, or maybe as an 8th grader, you were a Web leader, Link Crew is the high school version of Web. So if you're not familiar with it, no worries. Basically, it is a bunch of juniors and seniors who are selected. They go through an application process, they're selected, and they are trained just to be really awesome leaders. Honestly, there's a whole curriculum that we go through. There's a lot of fun activities that we play. We do some team building, and they really figure out what it means to be a leader. And it's really awesome just to hear what these leaders have to say about their own experiences going through high school, because the transition from 8th to 9th grade can be really, really tough. And not just if you're going from 8th grade to 9th grade, maybe you're going, you know, like Ms. Smith said, from like a private school to a public school. That's what I did. And that was really scary. So link leaders are really here just to kind of be a friendly face, help you with all the millions of questions that you have, kind of loosen up a bit, have some fun, and make Bellevue your home, because you're stuck here for 4 years. So if we can go to the next slide, I'll remember what I have to say next. So link crew, usually we have this really awesome day called freshman orientation, and that is basically a really fun, goofy assembly, essentially. So we do a big assembly, we kind of get loose, we meet a bunch of new people. I know it's really easy to stick with your we call them bungee buddies, right? The friend that you'll only let go so far before you go back to them. But you can meet a lot of new people, maybe some people you went to middle school with, or just a bunch of new people in your grade. And then you break up into small groups with your link leaders, and kind of we go through a bunch of activities, get to know new people, get a tour of the school. And so I'm not sure if that's going to happen the normal way or not, but we'll have, you know, more details. That's usually the day before school. A couple of days before that, we have taking care of business day, and that's kind of like the business. And you can go to the next slide, just so I can see the different. Yeah. So taking care of business is basically like where you get all the boring stuff out of the way, like ASB cards, paying fines, ORCA cards, all those kinds of things. But freshman orientation is where it's at. You know, that's where you get your class schedule, which is always like the exciting part. We get to walk around, and then a lot of link leaders will share just about all of the activities that we have. They're pretty involved. We have a lot of sports and clubs and activities. So kind of whatever you're into, we have link leaders that are plugged into every kind of thing, so they can be that person to answer your questions and help you get connected that way. So the goal is just to kind of make new friends, feel a little less awkward on your first day of school. So one more slide. So if we're unable to do it the normal way, which, you know, we're, like Dr. Anderson said, we're getting new information all the time. Rest assured that Link Crew is still going to do its best to make sure that all freshmen and new students feel welcome and connected through virtual efforts. So we don't just welcome freshmen, there's also a bunch of transfer students we get all throughout the year. So 9th through 12th grade, and we make sure we connect them. And we're definitely going to do our best to make sure that we are doing that through any means that we can. So we're looking forward to that. There's going to be more information headed your way in August when we have a little bit more details on what things are going to look like. But I'm excited to start a new year with you guys. A lot of energy, a lot of fun. High school doesn't all have to be stress. You know, we can have some fun and goof around. So looking forward to seeing you all there.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McKnight. So as she noted, Link Crew is a type of leadership, student leadership. It's on campus, and it's a great way to get connected with some of the upperclassmen that you'll be sharing hallways with, and possibly some courses as well. To discuss a more formal type of leadership, student leadership, we have Miss Day with us this evening.
Good evening. So excited. I know some of you recognize me because I was at Chinook 2 years ago when you guys were 6th graders. I had 2 6th grade classes, so I've been looking forward to you guys coming to Bellevue and can't wait to see you in person. Anywho, I am Ms. Day, and I have been at Bellevue High School for 10 years. I'll be starting my 10th year. So old. Anywho, But it's going to be my first year as the leadership teacher. So I'm super excited. And what that means for you is that if you're ready to just dive right in and just do the whole high school experience, leadership, that's for you. You can run for class office. So I believe class office elections are on September 22nd. You do have to fill out a packet. Okay, that's going to be online in August. You can look for that and start filling it out. There's, if you do get elected to leadership, you will be a class officer, and then you will join our second period class, which is leadership class. And I'm really excited. I'm going to spend all summer planning it. So it's going to be a combination of learning how to be a leader and getting work done. So we can have decorated hallways, we can be ready for assemblies, we can do fundraising. So if you are elected, your big responsibility coming up is homecoming. And I'm going to show you some pictures on the next slide, but we're not there yet. So you get to help plan homecoming, but even if you don't decide to run or that's not your thing, you can still help in homecoming. We need tons of help. Decorating, dancing, more decorating, lots of stuff. I know you guys have all been to those parades, so you know, or maybe you haven't thought about it, but there's a lot of work that goes into all the assemblies and the parades and the games and all that. There's a lot of fundraising, which that's also a great way to get involved, whether you're elected or you just want to help. We do lots of stuff with school spirit and events. So let's go to the next slide and I'll show some pictures. So up on your left, right, below the Wolverine's chin, we have some pictures of kids at camp. So we do, if you do get elected, we go to a mini camp. It's only one night that you spend, so it's like Friday morning until Saturday afternoon. It won't be longer until the school will pay for us to stay at the Four Seasons. But until then, we'll do camping. So also kind of diagonally down from that, that's a camp picture. It was actually super fun. I'm not even a camper. In the middle, there's some pictures of just randos. And then over there, do you see the neon lights and in the dark? That's one of the dances that the leadership kids like put on. So that's exciting, isn't it? And then, oh no, I need my glasses. Sorry, my bad. Oh, down on the bottom right, do you see all those tables? If you're involved in leadership, you get to plan prom. And so what that entails is just putting on this big event where there's entertainment, decorating tables, thinking up themes. It's really fun. I've been a class advisor for many years, and it's so fun when you get to be a senior and plan prom. In the middle, down in the middle, those are some students on the float. And then, sorry, I can't see that other one. Oh, over on the left, way over on the left, the bottom, they're selling bucket hats. So that's part of fundraising. You get to think up ideas to sell and then sell them. And you do it as a group, and the students become, you know, really close to each other. And it's just it's a great way to be involved and kind of be like instant family and friends. So again, can't wait to see you guys in the fall and think about leadership.
All right, thank you, Miss Day. And I would say that in my 7 years as an administrator in this district, I think it's just absolutely fantastic when we have strong leadership classes to work with and help build the culture of a school. And everything I've heard about leadership here at this school, it really speaks to why the culture in this school is so strong. So do consider joining. Next up, we have Miss Hurley, who is going to discuss clubs and activities.
Hello. Hi. Hi, guys. Okay, hello, class of 2024. My name is Linda Hurley, and aka Sensei, and I teach Japanese at Bellevue High School. Not only do I teach Japanese, but I'm here today as your activity coordinator. As your coordinator at Bellevue High, my main role is to manage clubs and to work really closely with the leadership class for all school events. So to make it short, I'm all about fun at high school with Miss Day. So one advice I can give to you is to get involved in school. Don't just attend classes. Join a club, join a team if that's your thing. We have every kind of clubs you can think of. Most Bellevue High students are involved in either sports or clubs or both. By getting involved in school, I can guarantee high school will be a fun place to be. And let's face it, it really looks good on your college applications. So, which club to join? Join a club that interests you and you stick with it for several years and you work yourself up and get into an authority position, either in a sports or a club. Can you change it to the next slide, Mr. Gangle? Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, Bellevue High, we offer many school activities. Most clubs meet weekly, and depending on the club, some are more active than others. So this is the current list of clubs at Bellevue High School. Do you see the heart in the number 65? Mm-hmm. We have 65 clubs at Bellevue High School. There you go. But you don't find a club that you're interested in? Don't worry, because any student can start a club when you recruit an advisor and find 8 members. All clubs must have a charter form and get an approval from the ASB. You can find the link at the Bellevue High School homepage under activities. In the fall, we also offer activities fair where you can visit each club at the booth they made during lunch. So you can physically see the club and gather information. And you can also join there too during lunch. So this is where I pitch about the importance of purchasing the ASB card. Sports and club exists with the help of the community, you parents, when you purchase an ASB card. This card provides all the supplies that all your club needs. Poster, butcher paper, pen, marker, blue tape, balls for sports. Let me go to my list. There's many more lists. Okay, balls for sports, interest to all sports games, all musical concerts, all drama production, and all art shows, and you can even get a discount at dance tickets with the purchase of an ASB card. So by you purchasing an ASB card, you help me and I can help your students. Okay, so we only have 4 years in high school, so let's make the best of it. Thank you for your time. ASB card. Okay, Mr. Gangle.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hurley. And I would agree the best way to get connected on this campus is to find a club that you want to be involved with and dive right in. It really will help you make new friends and participate in things that you are passionate about. Up next, we have Mr. George to talk about our music program here.
Hello, thank you very much. So the pictures you're seeing right now are just a little bit about what we have here at Bellevue High School. Coming from middle school, you're probably used to having band or choir or orchestra offered, and we have those, and those programs are great. You'll see the band at Disneyland there. We took the entire music department there last year. In the upper corner is the jazz band at a retreat. You see the choir singing, and we all have, they're all fabulous groups. One of the things I'm most excited about telling you about tonight, though, is our other music electives, and these are open for everyone. And it's the hope of the music teachers that all of you take at least one music class in your time here. We have a guitar class, we have a piano class, we have a steel drum class, we have composing with technology, and we have an AP music theory. A lot of those are simply 1 semester classes. There's no prerequisites, and they're a lot of fun. And just like you've heard already tonight, it's a great way to get involved. Now, I want to talk as a parent. I have a daughter who is a sophomore here at Bellevue High School, and I just want to echo what Dr. Anderson said at the beginning about teachers really wanting to get to know the kids. That's been my experience with my daughter's teachers, and our whole family is fortunate that she's attending Bellevue High. Speaking about registering for classes and getting involved, it is possible to do music all 4 years in high school. We have several kids, many kids do it, And they're not only in music, but they're leaders among the school, whether it's ASB officers or captains on sports teams or getting a golf scholarship to Duke. We have so many high achieving students in our music programs, and we hope that that you'll join us. So to kind of review, we have traditional band, choir, and orchestra. And if you already play those instruments, great. Or if you want to join those, any of those groups, you can join if you have the passion for that. And additionally, steel drums, guitar, piano, composing, and AP music theory. Welcome to Bellevue High School, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. George. And I'll just add that when you are a student here, please attend as many of the concerts that our music students put on as possible, because they are fantastic and you will enjoy yourself, I promise you. Up next, we have Mr. Hill, our athletic director.
All right. Well, hello, Bellevue High School incoming 9th grade class. Super excited for you to be a Wolverine and hopefully participate in as many activities and great classes and then athletics as well during your 4 years here. A little bit about myself. I actually went to Bellevue High School, graduated in 1986. That sounds like about 50 years ago to most of you, and you're right, it feels that long, but I'm about 50 years old, just to expose my own age there. But been a coach in the school district and here at Bellevue High School for 23 years, and now this is my finishing up a 3rd year as athletic director here at Bellevue High School. So I can proudly say I've spent over half my life here at Bellevue High School. We have an amazing staff, and Kelly Mayer, she is basically my right-hand woman, and she takes care of a lot of the registration work and filing, and helps out with clubs tremendously. Kathy Lanning is our school accountant. Work very closely with her and purchases. And then Ashley Lopez is our athletic trainer here, and she is phenomenal. She's dedicated to each and every one of our programs and student athletes. The next slide talks a little bit about the athletic philosophy. And I thought a little bit about this one, and I'll go off script here just a little bit, but it ties into everything that you would read there. As a longtime coach, I had thought many times about what does educational-based athletics mean to me. And I started thinking about my own experiences and the time I've spent coaching as a longtime cross-country and track and field coach here. The mindset I think you should have when you're going out for something, whether it's athletics or activities and even your classes, is that it should be your favorite class of the day. If we're just speaking specifically to athletics, you want to have fun out there. You want to feel value out there. We do have terrific coaches that do build and retain student participation and through the youth community. But the bigger picture is being a better person for going through the process, and then being a leader by the time you're done with your 4 years here, and you pass that baton to the next generation of students. So I already applaud any one of you who are going out for any athletic or activity event. The next slide we have talks a little bit about our participation checklist. The online registration called finalforms.com. If you go to our Bellevue High School website and you click on the Wolverines icon at the top or drop-down menu and click on athletics, it'll bring our athletic screen up, and then it will have a little box that will prompt you to register for athletics, and it will take you directly to the Final Forms site to complete the parent signatures, student signatures. If you're doing a sport that is violent, like a collision type of sport, impact testing is required. That's a baseline concussion test for those contact sports. And then a physical. You must have a physical to also participate. Both the impact test and the physical are good for 2 years. ASB card being purchased and so forth, looking down the list of what needs to be completed before you can participate in games or matches is all right there for you to see. And Kelly and I are very quick to help if there are questions about the registration process on final forms. The next slide talks a little bit about the summer of 2020. There's no escaping it. Right now, we are still in kind of a lockdown mode. So although summer activities actually officially started, they actually officially started on June 1st. Our athletic programs that are beginning in the fall and in the winter, because there's a number of programs that will conduct summer activities, are already meeting with students, having team-specific meetings through the team site. So if you do want to be privy to information that's going out about your sports that you are most interested in participating in, get yourself registered and at least get a physical turned in, because some of the exercises that the coaches may prescribe for students to work on could be physical, and so you'll need to at least have a physical to be able to be a participant in those conditioning workouts. Typically, we would have a full calendar that would show the activities and everything that's happening in the summer, but we are slowly but surely getting ready to release that information as we understand more of what kind of in-contact meetings that we could have, or if in-contact meetings could potentially be held outside. All, of course, dependent on phase and school district view of where we're at that point. This is the list of our fall sports. The one sport begins on August 19th. That's football. They get a 3-day head start just because they need to have enough practices in, because it's a high contact sport. And then everything else starts on August 24th. So you can see the list. There's a number of sports there that do have cuts. If you do not make a team, then the idea would be you could sign up for another team that didn't have cuts and still allow you an opportunity to participate in sport for the fall season if you'd be interested in it. The next slide talks about the year-round programs, which we do have 2 of, the cheerleading and our dance and drill program. Both of those programs were in a wait and see in terms of a date to be determined for any new students interested in trying out. Those tryouts, ideally, if we could have, even if it's a smaller group size, would happen in July. But there will be an additional opportunities for students to try out late in the fall, regardless of whether the fall season starts on time or we're delayed a little bit in that waiting point. Both of those programs also have competitive seasons too, in which they end up at the state championship level and compete for same type of trophies that all of the athletic programs would do so. Our last slide I think I have talks about the communication aspects of Bellevue High and being up to date and being in the know of what's happening. You all parents out there, if you did any 2 things, I think, for you if your son or daughter participates in athletics is 1, register for the Bellevue High PTSA, the Bellevue Blast. Get yourself on that news list directive. And then another site is called kinkoathletics.com, of which is the site that the athletic directors throughout the conference use for our main scheduling purpose. And if the most immediate way to know if there's been a change, a rain out, say in tennis, we have a rain out, that's going to be announced by, more often than not, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. But if you're registered for that, neither of these sites have a cost. But if you register for that, you'll be up to date immediately as to what is happening out there on the timing of our meets. So that is what I have to offer you. There's a longer version of the athletics for 8th grade informational. That's also on the front page of the Bellevue High website. It's highlighted in blue, says Bellevue Athletics 8th grade information video. There's a little bit more detail to that particular directive, but if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to contact myself or Kelly Mayer, and go Bellevue.
All right. Thank you, John. I'll just add on that participating in a fall sport is one of the absolute best ways to show up day one of school and feel like you're truly connected to a group of friends and teammates. And so I really do encourage you to try out for something, even if you haven't done it before. Give it a shot. We have excellent coaches. We have fantastic student athletes, and it'll be a good way for you to feel as though you are already a member of the Bellevue High community before the first day of school even starts. With that, we are coming down to the end of our slideshow. I'd like to personally thank all of you for listening in and being a part of this. And I believe that Dr. Anderson, our leader, our principal, is going to end us off here.
Thank you, Thomas. And everybody, wow. Are you ready for this? You are. You know, we have amazing schools in Bellevue. We're fortunate to be in a strong district with tremendous community support. And Chinook is an awesome school. I used to work there. And I know that you are ready for your high school experience, as well as any of you out there that might be coming from Odell or Tillicum or Highland or Tyee. You're ready for high school. Now, you just heard a lot. And we recorded this meeting, so if you came in late or had to leave early, or you want to tell a friend or somebody couldn't make it, they'll be able to review this. And, you know, there'll be more opportunities. Good to go through information. We've got a couple of minutes, and I like to take risks every now and then. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. Now, if you can raise your hand, go ahead and do that. We'll take a few questions. We're going to end up and wrap things up right here at 7. But if there's a question or two out there, we'll do our best to answer them. Let's give it a try. And Thomas, I realize I'm saying that, and I don't know if it's possible for people to ask questions.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there are.
They might not be able to, but they could very well type a question into the message box.
I see that.
The chat bar, this is MB. I put that people can go into that chat bar. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Microsoft Teams, if you go down to the bottom quarter of the screen, you should be able to see like a little text or conversation marker there, and then you can type. So I typed a few comments in there. Ms. Day did too. So you could you could type a question in there. If you can click the little hand, that will signify that you're raising your hand, that you have a question. So those are kind of two ways if the microphone feature is not working.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. And I do see a question. How do you review or change your electives? Well, once you get your schedule and you come in the fall, if you believe there's a mistake, you can request a change. Now, typically, we hope that people chose electives and both first, second, and third choices, and there's not a need for that. But if you really believe there was an error, once you come onto campus, you'll be able to submit a request, and we will review that. So, and it will happen probably in the first or second week of school. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. Oh, I love this one. So the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Reichdahl, had a press release today and talked about information that was shared with districts and superintendents. And so the state has set some parameters and give us some options of how we can open up in the fall. So the question is what does my gut feel on if we'll have enough space and distance? So Information is going to be coming out in the next week or so from our district, and we've had committees that have been in place for the last couple of weeks brainstorming and thinking about different ways that we can accommodate our student body, and whether that is alternating days or shifts so that we can provide the physical distancing necessary to keep everybody stay safe, students and staff. There's going to be information coming out soon. I can't really predict that right now, but a lot of work has been already done in the last couple of weeks in preparing for that. And we are certainly hoping that we're going to have a musical and a play. Our theater and drama department is very active. They put on about 12 shows a year, and that includes musicals and dramas and improv shows, open mics. A lot of things are going on. You can learn more about specific clubs when you come on campus. We do have a, we call it a, what is it called? The club and activity fair that happens in late September, early October. And once all the clubs get formed and we have all of the clubs come out and present during lunches, and you can walk around and learn about all the different clubs and try some out. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, some of our staff are answering the questions in the chat and providing some more information. That's really helpful. You know, Ms. Fong, I appreciate your question. You know, what if, you know, folks, it's going to be tough. And in terms of how do we feel safe and how do we make sure our kids are safe coming back to school? Again, I don't want to get out in front of the plans that we're going to put forward as a district. I know that some of the recommendations include physical distancing, wearing of masks, disinfecting, and ensuring that we're able to provide the safety for everyone. There'll be a lot more information coming out in the next days and weeks. So I encourage you to watch closely. We're going to learn a lot in the next weeks and months prior to school opening again in the fall. 8th graders, you can start community service this summer. And so it's not too early. So you can go ahead and keep track of that. And then when you get onto campus in the fall, you can learn how to log into Naviance and put those hours in. You know, we have a college and career specialist that is housed in our library, and they collect lists of available community service opportunities for all interests and all types. And so once you get onto campus, we'll be happy to talk to you about different kinds of community service activities. There are some that are even right here on campus. And thank you, Ms. Smith, for she included some more information there in the chat about community service. Hey, this is actually working out okay. I just want to give a shout out to the staff who shared tonight, and I'm excited about coming back in the fall. I wish I was a student. There's so much going on, and I just appreciate everybody who came out tonight. Thank you for joining us. And again, some of the information we shared earlier back in January, but we just want you to know that we're here and we're looking forward to coming back in the fall. We're living through a tough time and really an unprecedented time in history. We're making history. And so looking forward to doing that with you in the fall. There is a 1-semester health requirement in high school. And Olivia Chang has a question about computers. So we distribute freshman computers, laptops, about the first or second day of school. So it's once you get on campus. All right. And oh, Miss Day has a question. Yes, you can take PE every semester. 1 year of PE is required your freshman year. Foundations of Fitness, and it's an excellent class. Lots of fun. You get to play a lot of sports and activities. It's really for everyone. And you can just keep taking PE. It's a healthy thing to do. I highly recommend it. And Aaron, question about how many AP subjects would you recommend? You know, that's the question that I get asked a lot. I'll tell you that the average graduating senior from the Bellevue School District takes between 5 and 6 AP classes. Now, there's no magic number. Some students don't take any, some students take 10 or 12. What's important is that you are taking the schedule that is right for you, that is going to help you meet your goals, and it's just a good fit. Some kids, you know, they get really excited and they sign up for a lot of AP classes and then find out later that they're in a tough spot. And so it is possible to sign up for too many. There's no one right answer. We talk to college recruiters and college admissions officers every year, and they look at a variety of factors when they're reviewing applications for college, and the number of AP courses is one. But they really want to see that somebody has taken 1 or 2 academic content areas and taken a progressively challenging class every year. But there's no magic number, and there's a lot of aspects that colleges look for. They're really looking at the whole person, and they're looking for a good fit for their college or university. Oh. Thanks for the link. That's right. It's a link to our course catalog. All right, so Bellevue staff, is there anybody out there who wants to make any final comments before we get off here? John, do you know where the Bellevue High School swim team practices?
The girls program uses Woodridge Pool, and the boys program uses Edgebrook Swimming Pool. And hopefully the pools will be open.
Yeah.
One thing we are getting prepared, Kelly and Linda and I have put out a all call for club information to put together and put in one centralized place. And we hope to have that posted on our website very soon.
Thanks, Mr. Hill. Thanks, Ms. Cooley. All right, everybody. Well, we are winding this up. We recorded this, and I think it'll be available somewhere. But thanks for taking time out of your evening. It's a beautiful day out there right now. And I encourage you to get outside, get some sun, walk around, get some fresh air. I'm about to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Gangle, Ms. Klug, Ms. Smith, Ms. McKnight, Ms. Day, Ms. Hurley, Mr. George, and Mr. Hill. Just some of the amazing people here that work at Bellevue High School. Because we are in the people business, and that's what we're about. So looking forward to you coming and joining our community. Have a wonderful night. Have a great last few days of school. We're almost there. And have an even better summer. And we'll look forward to seeing you here in the fall. All right.